Parts are critical to dealership success. They're a major profit driver for most dealerships, and they're critical to just about every service job. That said, when customers bring their vehicles in for service, dealerships often miss opportunities to sell more parts. Also, if parts and service could connect more effectively with one another, the dealership could win more service work. The question is, what can the parts department do to help address these gaps? I think it starts with communication, which can really be a challenge. Parts and service are not always on the same page. They view vehicles differently and use different information to get their part of the job done. So at times they ask each other confusing questions, often using different terms to describe the exact same part or problem. If we could get parts to communicate better with service, the benefit to the dealership would be huge. There are also workflow issues between parts and service that really limit productivity. When a technician has to step away from the vehicle to explain what they need to someone at the parts counter, it takes time out of their day. When they start lining up at the counter, each with their own parts needs, that wastes even more time. On top of wasting time, these issues cause mistakes and lead to rework that costs the dealership money. I've heard time and time again that challenges like these directly impact how profitable and successful a dealership and its fixed operations can be. At Snap-on, we've worked with our customers to learn more about these challenges and figure out what we can do to address them. Our response has been to design a new information tool focused directly at improving workflow efficiencies. We call it WAVE. Through WAVE, Snap-on is unlocking parts data in new and creative ways. We want to help the parts team do their jobs anywhere they need to, freely around the entire dealership. Now, the parts guys can overcome workflow and communication gaps like they've never been able to before. In the past, they might have felt anchored to their desks. Now, with WAVE, they're free to get up and get information directly from the vehicle itself. They can answer parts questions wherever they are in the dealership, whether it's with service writers in the service lane, technicians in the bays, even customers in the waiting area. Sometimes, for both service and parts, it's a lot easier to point at something in person than to ask about it. WAVE means parts advisors can skip the confusing questions by taking EPC data with them into the service bay, up to the vehicle. They can get information they need about the vehicle while using illustrations, VIN filtering, and DMS integration to work more intelligently with technicians. Also, technicians don't have to drop what they're doing to work with parts. Technicians won't get stuck in line at the counter anymore, and parts guys can work with multiple technicians in a single trip. Everybody can do what they do best, more quickly and more effectively. What's also exciting is how WAVE can help the parts team increase its contribution to dealership success. By examining the vehicle in person, it gives parts the opportunity to sell more parts, even help catch chances to better satisfy customers. It can also help them find single-use parts, like control arm bushings, for example, that might have previously slipped through the cracks. At Snap-on, we are deeply invested in helping dealerships. WAVE helps the parts team step up to help the service team and the entire dealership work together to better satisfy their customers.